Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. It is Wednesday and we are doing another portfolio review. Trying something a little bit different, shooting at night, so the lighting's probably a little bit different. But yeah, this week we're actually doing part 2 of the home refi investing. As you can see in here, we've got $32,000 that we're looking at putting into the market. I would love if every single week I was putting in $25,000 in dollar cost averaging like that. But truth be told, we're not sitting on that kind of cash normally. So if you remember from last week, I'll post a link in this video as well. Where this money's really coming from is we did a home refinance on our house. We pulled out the equity. We're using half of that money to buy a rental property, which, exciting news, we just got it actually yesterday. And the other half of the money we're actually using to invest in the market. So we're putting all the money that we pulled out of that home refi into different investing strategies, just trying to focus on getting ahead. And we do these videos on Wednesdays, right? Wednesdays are our portfolio reviews. Probably the bigger part of my channel is the financial education videos that we do on Saturdays. But like I state in every video, if you guys find this information helpful, if you like the content that we're posting, smash that like button and subscribe. And with that being said, let's get into throwing the money into the market. So, with this $32,000, the first fund that I'm going to invest in, which shouldn't be a shock to anybody, is this VOO. So I'm going to open this up. I'll look at my notes. And we're going to put dollars in. This is where the majority of the money is going to go this week. And we are putting $31,485.55 when I look at my notes. So we'll review that order. I'm sure it's going to ask for my password. Maybe not. All right, so this is done. And that money will go in. So we'll go back to the portfolio. Then the next company that we're looking to buy this week, and this is going to go hand in hand with my new investing strategy that I'm trying to do. So for those of you who have been watching these videos, know that we dollar cost average into the market every single week. The next company I'm going to invest in here, this One Oak, it has finally, so now it's up to $50. Its fair market value, I think, is at 44. Yep, still at 44. So it's a little bit over its fair market value price. But the strategy that I'm trying to focus on is I'm going to put a bulk of our money in VOO or in an index fund. And I'm doing that because it's been a proven long-term strategy that has worked for long-term investing. So every single week that I invest, no matter how much money I'm investing, whether that be $50 or whether that be, well, as you can see this week, $32,000, right? No matter what I'm dollar cost averaging in, 50% of all of that money is going to go to a market average index fund. I'm not going to try and beat the market, pick better stocks. I think that's just a stable way to generate wealth over time. The next part that I'm going to focus on is dividends. Right, so One Oak, on top of it being a solid company that I think's got a lot of room to grow back to where its highs once were. Let me scroll down. Here, the dividend yield on this company is 7.55. So I've talked about dividends in other videos. They're, kind of micro payments that you get paid quarterly from companies. Some are yearly. They're all different. But ultimately, the company is paying you to hold on to their shares. VOO's got a dividend, I think, of 1.5. So if I'm going to invest in companies outside of VOO and try and increase my dividend payments, I'm looking for companies that, yes, still have stable growth, right? I'm not going to invest in a company, I'll pick on some of the oil companies. They have very, very high dividends. Some of them do. But I don't believe in oil, and I don't think it's going to have long-term growth, right? I got to be investing in a company that I've done my due diligence on. I think that it's going to continue to grow, but ultimately, I'm looking for dividends that are higher than what VOO is going to get me, because otherwise, honestly, I'd put the money in the index fund. So if I look at my notes here, because I've kind of wrote down my percentages. I'm going to put $588 into One Oak. So I'll click on review. Buy. All right. So then if we go back to the portfolio, we got $147 left. Now, I should also explain a little bit. When I say I'm going to put 50% of my money into VOO, obviously I put a lot more than 50% in. The reason behind that different distinction this week is because, again, when I did the home refi, I'm not risking any of that money. That money I want going into a stable holding. I took all the remaining funds from that home refi and put them all into VOO. The remaining money that I've got that I'm actually investing for this week, 50% of that I also put in VOO, 40% went into One Oak, and then the remaining 10%, I'm putting that in more high-risk companies, that aren't paying dividends but with a greater upside for growth. And a company that I am extremely bullish on and think that it is going to be good for the long term is Plug Power. Obviously, we've had some shaky ground lately. This was up at one point almost 200% for me. It's all the way back down to only being up 70%. But again, I'm looking for long term. I'm not, it's starting to crash. I got to pull all my money out and look for the next best thing. I think this company is going to be a really stable company for the long term. And to be honest with you, the fact that it's pulled back so much to me, I think is a benefit now as I look to put my money in, because all I'm going to end up doing is getting more bang for my buck, right? Why not buy shares at $43 a share versus $75 a share where it once was? So that's where I'm going to put my remaining funds in. And then two other things I wanted to go over this week before I look at where the performance is at is, as I switch my strategies up, so I continue to do tons of research, learn more about companies, more about investing, and just ways to kind of maximize my profits. And if you can see in here, right, I've got a ton of different holdings if I scroll down through. So originally, when I very first started investing, it was all about dividend stocks and trying to find ways to increase my dividends. I really do not like how big this portfolio has become, and it's kind of a lot to manage. I'm not selling any of these shares. I'll post a link below to a video where I talk about capital gains tax. At some point when I get these to long-term capital gains, which will probably be sometime late this year, I will trim off some of these because I really want to get less holdings, and I'm probably going to throw more of that money back into VOO and just put it into an index fund where I know it will be safe for the long term. One company, though, I did want to pull this up at least before I went through, that's been doing really, really good and talk about a little bit, is Volkswagen. I've been really excited about this company as well. Obviously, everybody knows about Volkswagen. But this automaker here, when I first started looking at getting into them, and this is probably midsummer-ish, they've got a lot of great information coming out about getting into electric vehicles and kind of revolutionizing a lot of that stuff. And, I'm not ready to say yet that they're going to go toe-to-toe with Tesla, but really starting to get mainstream. And as I look at this, I was able to buy in at only $19 a share. It's already up to $28, and I think its fair market value is $30. Just look down here. Yeah, $30. So now it's getting close to being well valued. When I bought in, it was a 5-star rating just because of how much undervalued it was. I still believe in this company and think it's going to grow long term. Their dividends, I think, 1.39. The dividends are only paid out annually. Not that should matter to you if you're investing for the long term. But this is another company that is relatively stable, has done well since going public, and that I think pretty highly of, and one that I'll probably be investing in future videos. So we'll go back to the portfolio. That's really all I got for this week. Just kind of looking at performance, this is nuts to me that our portfolio is now up to $78,000. Yeah, and hopefully having that much money in there, the growth and the returns that we can get as this starts to compound will only get greater and greater. We're up $311 today, $23 after hours, and I say any day you can make money is a good day. If I go back and look at the last week, we're up 743. So obviously if you watched my last video, and you're probably going to see it when I click over to the month, but things have been kind of dire and dropping off. But it's starting to turn around again, at least in the short term. And again, so here down $1,000 over the last month. 3 month, we're still up $2,500. And then all time, we're up $3,700. So you can kind of see how this has grown. We did pull some money out of the market for the hot tub. I did that in a previous video, but that was something we planned for. We kind of used the market, which I wouldn't advise for everybody, but as a savings account. And then when that came, we paid it off. But you can see here kind of at its peak, we're up a little close to $5,000 here. And the thing again that I want to stress is even as we were coming down, right? And since February 9th, it's been continually dropping all the way to March 8th. I believe in my strategies, right? I don't start selling all my shares. I continue to buy in weekly, every paycheck, whether it's in the market here in my Robinhood account, in my Roth IRA, wherever I'm investing, because I do believe in the long term, you're going to come out ahead. So, don't get scared off on buying, shares or try to sell everything off if you see the market go down. I really encourage you, if you're truly going to invest, not gamble, like buying GameStop or AMC and hoping you can double your money in a day, but invest in the long term. Don't worry yourself with the market price. Just keep investing and trust that your strategy is going to win. So yeah, that's really all I got for this week. Again, like I said, if you guys find this information helpful, I'd encourage you, smash that like button and subscribe. If not, hopefully we'll see you back here Saturday for some financial education videos. And if not, we'll see you back next Wednesday for another portfolio review. Thanks for watching.